This week on Xenomania, when two hillbillies purchase a secluded cabin, it seems like the perfect vacation spot. Sure, the cabin needs some work and has newspaper clippings detailing a past massacre, but it's theirs. At least until a group of college students show up with preconceived notions and fear of hillbillies. The conflict between the two groups grows in increasingly chaotic and humorous ways. Will the lovable bumpkins overcome the college kids? Plus, the return of the blind rank, which will surely leave at least one of my co hosts disappointed by his choices. This is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This is Xenomania.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Absolute clown. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy 4th of July. Near miss on the beginning of this one.
That 4th of July wish will be a little late. We are currently July 3rd here.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
And what's
you
the
won't
special
hear
day, John?
It's Return of the Living Dead Day, guys.
That's when you're listening to this, likely. It's
Yeah.
Return of the Living Dead Day.
No, today, July 3rd, is Return of the Living Dead Day.
Oh, it is today.
Yeah,
Never mind. I
yeah.
lied.
You know what that
Ye-
means? It's party time.
It
Party
is.
time.
Party time.
Yeah, that's on our calendar this year. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
We got a lot of bangers this year. We got Return of the Living Dead. We got Halloween. We got The Thing. We're going to be covering Obsession in a couple weeks. That one I'm interested in. You want to talk about body horror? You think Bring Her Back is bad? Wait for this ride.
Obsession's body horror?
This is going to take the cake from what I've seen from clips already. It does bring her
No
bring-
chance it's worse. No chance it's worse.
Oh, just imagine a brick. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I have no idea where to go with that in my head. But anyway, for this one, we're doing Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Or is it
Yeah,
Dale and
buddy.
Tucker? I don't even
Tucker
know.
and
We can flip
Dale.
around.
Tucker and Dale, man.
Ryan and I had both not seen this movie up until, watching it for the episode, and we both enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's a hidden gem, I feel. Came out in 2010. Simple comedy horror that follows an interesting trope of the hillbillies in the boonies are the villains, but it's reversed when they're actually the good guys, and the college kids are just they're not thinking straight.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's only one of the college kids that's a villain. The rest of them are just sort of dopey,
Chad.
easily
Yep.
misled. Shad.
Which is usually the case. This is the first movie I've seen in a long time that reminded me of Cabin in the Woods. It had that
Ooh, yeah.
silly vibe to it. It was way toned down. There's nothing supernatural in this, but
Mhm.
it was super duper, I don't know, very similar.
Yes and no, because I feel that Cabin in the Woods is a horror film. That's what it is. It's not like you have little comedic elements in it to kind of ease the tension, but it goes for that 80s horror vibe. While with Tucker and Dale is more of that comedy vibe of Young Frankenstein or Dracula Dead and Loving It with a little more gore to it. And it's not really like that. You can think of it as a spoof too, like a satire.
It's a satire of the hillbilly horror. I don't know. I don't think it's quite like the slapstick level of a Dracula Dead and Loving It or a Young Frankenstein. It's more like situational, and it's the funniest parts are Tucker and Dale and the way they perceive things.
Yes. I agree. That's basically the entire movie is how they try to rationalize what's happening, always with good intentions.
Mhm.
Everything always going horribly wrong.
Mhm.
It is great.
This poor kid tripped and fell into the wood chipper.
Yeah, that
Well-
Fargo vibes right there. That was pretty
Yep.
funny.
Yep, right from the start, everything about them is misunderstood by the college kids. And, it's guided by Chad, who's there for other reasons. But, I mean, they're doing it on their own, too. Right from the beginning, they pass Tucker and Dale on the highway. And you get the look between them with like this sort of like maybe slow-witted hillbillies looking at the car full of college kids, and they're at the same gas station, and you know Dale has a crush, and he goes to try to talk to him, and he brings the freaking scythe with him to try to, and then he's
Yeah.
just like, they essentially gives them the, "Hey, pretty girl,"
Yeah.
and they,
Going fishing
yeah,
or whatever he said, or going camping, I think he
It
says.
it
yeah,
doesn't help that he's smiling and laughing,
yeah,
listening to Tucker's
yeah,
advice.
yeah.
So if you want to point out, that is exactly what happens in Apex, by the way. It happens in Australia, but still, they walk into the convenience store. There's a couple of locals that harass Charlize Theron, and our villain actually white knights it a bit in the store, but it's like basically the same scene, but done seriously in Apex.
Mhm.
So it's a perfect satire. They just nail it throughout the movie, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Holy hell, is it funny?
Yeah, they do so many good things with this movie. So it's Eli Craig who's, his return to our podcast, because he
Yep.
directed Cloud in a Cornfield, which he did almost a year ago already now.
He's got
You should
a
go back and listen to that one too.
he's got a
Do
nice
it.
gap with his films. We were talking before the podcast. Like Tucker and Dale came out in 2010. He did a film called Little Evil, which came out in 2017. Clown and Cornfield, 2025. His new one, which is waiting to be announced for a year date to come out, is White Elephant, which is a Christmas themed horror film. But it's interesting that he has these gaps, but he hits it. I feel like whatever horror genre he's going with, or horror subgenre he's going with. Like he hits it with Tucker and Dale. He hit it with Clown in a Cornfield. Little Evil I haven't seen yet, but he probably hit it out of the ballpark too with that.
He paces things well. He finds people who do really, really nice effects work. And, he's found a little niche in there.
I wonder what he's going to do next.
I mean, sounds
White
like
Elephant.
the white elephant thing. I don't know
Well,
anything
after
about
that.
that. Yeah. I mean, it
White
might be a while.
Elephant, for those listening that don't know, White Elephant, to my understanding, is a game played often around the holidays where you do like certain gift giving in a very interesting way.
Yeah, and I never understand the group that I'm doing them with, whether they're like doing serious gifts or gag gifts.
Yeah,
So
are you
the one I was in last year was apparently way more serious than I understood it to be. And I contributed a shark emergency kit.
To which the person who received it tried to give it back and trade, but we said no, since they were not a part of it. They
No.
skipped it, and they
Yeah,
made it
you
to
weren't
the
there
end.
in time.
Rules are rules.
Rules is rules.
Rules
It's actually
are
pretty funny.
rules.
Got stuck with the shark kit.
Well,
I
it
can't
makes
wait
it
to hear
worse
who did
because
it.
I'm the one who picked it, helped pick it for them, which was even funnier.
Oh boy. Well, so Tucker and Dale, I mean, you begin with them going to their summer cabin. They have a holiday house, which is hilarious because it's all rundown cabin that used to be used by a serial killer.
Yep. It's the first time you get a sense that there's something evil that's not really Tucker and Dale.
I just love the part when they're reading the news clippings and it says all these horrible things. They're like, man, he is such a great collector of the news. This guy is phenomenal.
No,
She never notices them. Chad doesn't see them when he's in the house.
Nope. And they never put it together, really. Tucker and Dale, even, who 100% see him, they're just, oh, look, he hung news clippings up. Like, not even like the recognition that these are about the Memorial Day massacre. And
Right.
It's bizarre. Well, they're not dumb per se. They're hickish, but they're not dumb. In fact, Dale is incredibly good at trivia.
Yep.
Which is a nod to a special diagnosis you can have. They do mention it in the movie a little bit.
Yep.
Mhm.
A little bit. Tucker's not nice about describing what that is. But for the most part, he's not a dumb guy. He's just like naive and, a little bit less worldly than the rest
Yeah.
of the characters.
Yeah.
But he's got a good heart. That's what makes
Can't
him.
spell either. When he carves the we have your friend, he's got that all messed up.
Which, I mean, again, completely escalating the paranoia without meaning to. It's all, everything they do that escalates the college kid's paranoia is well intentioned. Allison
Yeah.
falls off the rock and hits her head and is nearly drowning, and they rescue her. But all the college kids see is them paddling away in a boat with their friend.
Well, they accidentally initiate her falling off because Tucker's trying to be a little perv, and Dale's like, "Yo, you can't do that." Which
Tucker.
I just want to give my flowers to Alan Tudyk, who plays Tucker. I'm a big Alan Tudyk fan since the days of Firefly. He plays Walsh. He's played the Joker in the Harley Quinn series, and he's been Dr. Phosphorus recently in Creature Commandos. He's just a phenomenal
He's so
actor.
good.
Doesn't get his he doesn't get his flowers. He does a lot of special guest stuff too, and he's funny.
A lot of voice work. Like he's got that Star Wars money.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he was
from Rogue One.
KSO-1 in Rogue One. He's
Yep.
got Lego money because he's doing voices for them. He's got Disney money. He's doing all right with the voice work. Like, you may not recognize Alan Tudyk by face, but you know his voice.
I mean, most people would recognize him by face too, based on a lot that he's been in. I was hoping that Resident Alien would continue to do well.
Oh my god,
That's
yeah,
another
he
one
was
of his
in that.
shows on
Yep.
Peacock. Yep, he's the alien.
Yep.
2021 to 2025 means that it is canceled, unfortunately. So no.
Yeah, probably. He's got Spider-Man money in here. Like,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
done.
looking right now. The Tick, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
Talk about
man.
being a legend right there. Newsreaders. I might just have to watch Newsreaders now because the cast of that looks outstanding.
That animated Tick series. Holy cow!
Hold
man.
on, he was
So
in the
good.
animated one.
Yeah.
I think I don't think the original run though, right? He's in like a
No,
more
it looks
recent
like-
one.
Yeah, 2016 to 2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was in the live action one.
Yeah,
that
this is the
Amazon
live
did.
action
one
one,
of
you're
one
right.
of the live action ones, because there's been at least two.
Yeah,
There's one that
the-
Amazon did, and there was one
Yep.
with Patrick Warburton before that.
Peter Serafinowicz played the Tick in that too. Talk about
I'm
another
such-
guy with the golden voice.
I'm such a fan of the Tick since the cartoon. The Patrick Warburton one, real quick, does a decent job
He's danger
for what it
Boat.
does, but the Amazon one really hits the spot with it. Gesundheit.
Yeah, he's a gem.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, Dale's not in much.
He does a lot of TV stuff.
Okay.
I forgot
He
what it
really
was.
shines in this movie.
Yeah, I looked him up in
Yeah, he does.
the other day. He's been in a bunch of TV stuff, like a lot, like not like one or two episodes, but like
Yep.
co-star level. He was in a Hulu show a while back, Ghost maybe. It was something with where he can see ghosts. Ghosted is something like that. It was pretty good. It had like 2 or 3 seasons, I think. So-
He's been acting since 1991.
I think he was in an episode of the X-Files, I want to say, like as a kid.
2 of them. He was
maybe.
in the War
Yeah.
of the Cockroaches and Quagmire.
Wow, Ryan got the intel tonight, baby.
I love the
Yeah.
X-Files.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do.
me too.
He
Don't
needs
play
to
with me.
believe.
Oh, I
He
believe.
wants to believe.
Go out in the
Come on.
sunroom. You see those ships or planes, airplanes.
Mid-90s me could see where we are with USOs and UFOs and whatever they're calling the
UAPs.
UAPs
Anyway,
as well. Like, well, that's a UFO now, right?
Yeah.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Something like that. Yeah.
I would be like, oh my God, man, life's gonna be so good. And boy, would I have been wrong.
I got you a show that he was in, Reaper.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
He
The
was in
Kevin
Reaper.
Smith series. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
was thinking about
forgot
that. I was
about
like,
that.
I've seen this guy before. What was I forgot the main actor. He was like in, I think, Grounded for Life beforehand or something. And he got like a big push
Yeah.
for Reaper. But Reaper was underrated. UPN.
Mhm. Yeah.
Good old
I mean,
UPN.
what did that last? Like a season and a half, maybe? Did it even get to a second season?
It did. Two seasons on, CW. I'm sorry.
2 seasons on CW.
That's for 2007-9, where the whole CW was overrun by superhero shows like Arrow and The Flash. 2 seasons is really good.
He was in one of the new Planet of the Apes movies. He's in For All Mankind right now. That's on. Is that on Apple?
I think it is. I believe it is. Double check.
He's in
So
Dark
yeah,
Angel.
I mean he works a lot. It's just he's
A
more
lot of
TV
these
at
really
this
great
point.
ones are. It is Apple. It is the Apple.
Oh, he's in Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Mm-hmm. He pops up like he's one of those guys. I think he's probably pretty easy to work with. We've met him. He's really, really funny in person too.
Nice dude. That helps.
Yeah.
Let's run a name by the audience again.
Tyler Labine.
Tyler Labine, everybody, is who we are talking
I
about.
believe that's how I've always pronounced it. I guess it could be Labine, but I think it's Labine.
It sounds like a Labine.
LL Labine.
Clothing line.
But like
Oh,
this is the perfect role for him at this point in his life. Like, he's built like a guy who would wear overalls and a giver hat.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I'm getting, by the way. I wanted to have it in time for tonight, but it wasn't going to be here, so I haven't ordered it yet. But I'm definitely getting a giver hat.
Gotta
Do it. Do it.
He doesn't even get credited on the show, by the way. For All
Which one?
Mankind.
No,
No, he's not even on the extended cast list, which is an absolute travesty. He's looking good these days.
yeah, he's lost some weight. Yeah,
He's looking all right. He's looking
Yeah.
like he's happy. Good for him, Tyler Bean.
He's needed. I mean, when you get to that point where you can just coast in Hollywood and do what you love, that's
don't know
when
if
you
he's a
need it. Well,
Where
that
he can
guy.
just coast.
I mean
His co-star in the film can coast right now because he's got
True.
royalty checks coming in.
yeah.
True. Okay, fair.
I bet Tyler's doing all right.
Let's find out.
Oh, I
hope he
forgot
does, right?
he was in the second Super Troopers also.
Yes, he was.
This is one of the Mounties.
Yep.
He looks like the kid from Sixth Sense, but we know it's not him because that guy was in Happy Gilmore too, and
Yeah.
he aged exactly like you think he aged.
Yeah. Deadbeat was the Hulu show.
Oh, okay. All right. And the sheriff is another character that I was wondering if he was in like a million movies, but he didn't really pop up again.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that sort of looks like it.
Yep.
He's probably one of the most incompetent sheriffs we've ever seen in one of the movies we've done.
He's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he is.
Yeah. He's in a few things. Nothing that's like maybe Cosmic Dawn may have crossed your eyes.
Mhm.
Bad Building. What an interesting name. I bet you that's not a building you want to rent anybody.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah, a few horror movies in here. You've probably seen him in a few things that I haven't. Possessed. I think that's the chick from Species in there, which means I might have to watch it.
Natasha Henstridge.
Let's find out. It looks like her. No. Maybe that's not her, unless she had a lot of work done. No, it's Nicolette Sheridan.
Oh,
It's Ann Culver. A young Nicolette Sheridan. All right, anyway. Anywho, that's for our two main characters.
the sheriff is gonna be really buzzed about because he's in Back Rooms.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
My son saw that pop up when we were looking for Van Helsing today to give him a little horror movie magic, and which got me in trouble with my wife. And Van Helsing is not a horror movie.
I was going to say,
no.
Van Helsing's action.
It was the perfect niche because he said, I want to watch something with monsters. And they saw Back Rooms. I was like, you are not watching Back Rooms.
Watch Van Helsing or Monster Squad.
We got
Where's that
through.
too?
Well, I tried to do Little Monsters with him, and he was like, this is a kiddie movie. He was like, you don't know what you're talking
Hold on.
about.
Are you
son."
talking about the one with Fred Savage?
Yes, I am.
That is not a kid's movie.
That's what I was
that
going to
is
say.
not-
It's the perfect movie for you at 8 years old. I know.
You get to the
So we
ending.
watched-
You get to the
But
ending.
then
and you
when
see
it
the
was like,
face.
yeah, the face on the ground, that's a little graphic. But
Let's-
Van Helsing's got those moments too where they're a little graphic. But I got to, I got to enjoy Kate Beckinsale all afternoon. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with this.
You could pull off Monster Squad with him, I think, maybe. He's
Monster
right.
Squad, Little Monsters.
He's right on the borderline of Monster Squad.
He watches like YouTube jump scare stuff and
Mhm.
Siren Head, and then he gets too scared to get up and pee. So this was a risk. This
Yep.
was a risk.
Yep.
We'll see how it pays off for him, Cotton.
I mean, you may have to explain what nards are, but you could probably get away with the Wolfman. With,
All they talk
Monster
about are
Squad.
balls and hit me right in my nuts. I'm like, you're 6. You can't say nuts that much. All the
in
time.
the crotch where my nuts hang.
That'd be a great change. The nards.
I sent that clip to you guys, right?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
LVJ ordering pants from Hagar. Oh my
good.
gosh.
All the way down to my bunghole.
Google that. That, like, even without that, with the part we were just talking about his crotch and that area, the whole thing is just preposterous that, like, the president could call a clothing company and detail to, like, the owner's son exactly how he wants his pants tailored.
I like it.
Great.
It's a man who knows how he likes his pants.
And that his weight fluctuates up to 15 pounds a month.
Yeah, it's a lot of meat and
That's
water.
insane.
Well, probably meat and beer.
Yeah.
But wow.
It's not a healthy diet.
No.
Well, I wonder how long did LBJ live for? Let's find out.
I think he got to a reasonable age. I don't think he died terribly young.
Presidential doctors, I tell you. But all right, let's see. Why don't we talk about a
1973.
game?
73.
Well, how old was he though?
It's a good question. I
Mid-70s
just got the
probably?
date. Let's see. He was born in 1908, gentlemen.
Kind of young for a president, sadly.
No,
Okay, so
younger
that's
than I would have
pretty young.
thought.
Yeah,
Younger than I
younger.
would have thought.
It says 60s.
Yeah.
Too young.
64.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, way too young. That's 1 year over retirement these days. Womp womp womp.
Mhm.
That's
Lose
no
his
fun at all.
balls and his pants.
All right, kids.
Hey,
Let's
they
talk
got
about a
tailored,
game.
right?
I understand you have an insidious game for us this week, John.
I mean,
Malevolent.
define insidious.
You made it.
An excellent movie.
So we're gonna go away from Stasher Slash this week. We're gonna go back to it. This originally started as a Stasher Slash, and I didn't. There's too many movies on here that are coming up, and I didn't want either of you to not be able to record an episode. So we're just gonna blind rank them. It's 8 movies. It's a blind rank. It's horror comedies. So you get that as no guessing. And we'll start right here with American Werewolf in London.
Why are you doing this to me?
That's a tough start.
I'm putting that at number 2.
That's a tough start. Number 2. How many movies?
There's a
This is
reason
gonna be
to
4.
it.
This is gonna be 4 for me.
What?
On the better side of the top of the two halves, but still right around that middle area for me.
It's so good. I mean, I got the treat to see it later on, so I had a little bit of a better understanding. But I feel like if I caught it on Sci-Fi as a young lad, I really would have enjoyed it.
Look at the top credit. That's amazing. Like nothing to do with this genre whatsoever, but you like this movie. We're sure of it.
From the director of Animal House, a different kind of animal. I like that.
Yuck.
All right. So a 4 and a 2 for American Werewolf in London. Movie number 2 is Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters.
Now we're just ranking them for movies we like.
Yeah, how you would rank these 1 through 8.
Give me Ghostbusters for 3.
I like Ghostbusters a lot. I'm gonna put it at 5. One
It's the
behind,
one-
just like Ryan, but down the line.
And this is the one I got Allison with. This would have been her 2. And she ended up with, I think, it at 6 or 7.
Ooh.
Okay.
She was
I mean,
very,
I'll have to
very,
go with it at 5.
very displeased with me and the way I ordered it for her.
I mean, if you look
Movie
at
number 3. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you look at both movies, like I feel like Ghostbusters is great in the comedy aspect, but the
Mm.
horror aspect and how it's filmed, American Werewolves has got that cinematography that stands out. But Ghostbusters has that zany fun of
The
Aykroyd,
effects.
Ramis,
Mhm.
Murray.
So Ghostbusters is the only one of these 8 that I don't have in my horror section in my collection. I
It's a
have this
comedy.
in comedy,
Yeah.
but it is a horror comedy. Number 3, Slither.
I do not care for Slither.
I'll put that at
I
8.
do not. I'm gonna drop it to 8 too.
Yep.
I watched most of it, but
It's a good film. It's good.
I love
It's
Slither.
just Michael Rooker.
You would, you insidious bastard.
I
like
love
how
this
they-
movie.
How they move. Nathan Fillion's in it too, right? He's the cop.
Yep. And Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks.
All right. So
We
movie
forgot to
number
check in on Allison's career. We have to do that when we get back, by the way. We left Allison out.
Yeah. Number 4, Return of the Living Dead. They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I do like this one too. It's not as high up for me in the dead movies as, it could be. It's more 80s than the other ones. It's got more culture to it, and that's not necessarily a good thing in my mind, but it's funnier. I'm scared to put this at 3, but I kind of want to put it at 3. I'm going to do it. I'm putting it at 3, and then 5 for Rion.
Ryan,
5.
5.
Yeah. I'd put it higher, but I
But you
got my
already
2.
used those spots.
Yeah. I used 2 and 3. Yeah. So 5 is the safe for me. I'm waiting
Alright.
for a specific one, so we'll see.
We'll see if that pays off. So let's recap halfway through. Kearns, you have 1, 2, 6, and 7 left. Ryan, you
Sure
have
do.
1, 4, 6, and 7. All right.
Alrighty.
Some movie number 5 is
Ooh,
Dead Alive.
Number 2. Number 2. Easy enough for me.
I'll put it at 6.
Six.
Oh my gosh.
So at this point, I just want to ask, because neither of you have used 1. Are you waiting for something in particular?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
What are you waiting for?
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh. Young
Ryan, what are you
Frankenstein.
waiting for? Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I mean, here's the thing. If Shaun of the Dead comes up and it's the last film and my number 1 is open, that is a worthy number 1. Shaun of the Dead is a classic comedy horror. Seen that
Alright,
a
well-
million
A
times.
huge homage to Young Frankenstein in my basement, by the way, and I might end up putting it at number 7 or number 8. That's sad.
All right.
That is sad.
Well, let's see how disappointed you guys are gonna be. Next, Zombieland.
Ooh.
I would have put this above Ghostbusters if I could.
Yeah, I would. I'll put it at 4.
All right.
I have 1, 7, and 8 left.
You have 1, 6, and 7 left.
Oh, 1, 6, and 7 left. All right, 6 it is. Zombieland, 6 it is.
All right.
Just in case.
So you both have 1 and 7 left.
Oh,
That's
wow.
great. We're gonna end
Yeah.
up matching.
I don't know
end
about
up
that.
matching.
Let's see.
Let's see which one of you is gonna be disappointed. Here's
Oh.
movie 7. It's Army of Darkness.
You know what, though? I'm going to
That's-
take the
that's-
chance. I'm taking the
That's
chance.
gotta go to 1. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
Army
put that
of-
at 7, bro.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is 1.
So here's my boomstick. Shop smart. Shop as smart. We quoted this movie for 10 years. Longer.
Yeah.
But it's just tapered
Yeah.
off a bit.
A
Yeah,
little.
all right. That means you guys both have your number 7 left.
And if you put one of those 2 movies that we were hoping for as the last pick, you're such a bastard.
It's going to be Young Frankenstein. I bet you any money.
Yeah, he definitely did. Look at him.
He did Young Frankenstein.
Look at him. Aw.
Oh, this is
At
one
least
of
we
my
don't like
favorite
lose
ones
it
ever.
for eternity.
Yeah, you guys would be heartbroken to lose this one for eternity.
It is Young
Movie
Frankenstein.
number 8.
Okay.
It's Shaun of the
Oh.
Dead.
I can live
I-
with it at number 7. I don't know about you, Kearns.
No, I
No.
can't.
7
three
is way too
lowest.
low for Sean.
I'm kinda
Probably
at-
put it at. I would have put it easily reversed this with Return of the Living Dead, and that would have made me happy with my list.
No, I can keep Return at 5. Sean at 7. I would switch that with. You can't switch that with Dead Alive.
Nah, Dead Alive is good where it is. Return to 7. This to 3. I think is where I have it. Have Return. That would have been okay.
I'm satisfied.
Bummer.
I couldn't put Young Frankenstein on here because I think it's too much comedy and not enough horror.
Yeah, it's
Same
more of a
thing with Dracula Dead and Loving It. Like I couldn't put that on here because it's too comedy, not enough horror for me.
Dracula, I can say yes, I agree with that. Young Frankenstein, though, borrows so much from Frankenstein Bride and Son of Frankenstein.
Yeah,
That it's like I don't know. That's where I feel like it goes into that horror trope a little more.
tracks
because
them.
That
Yeah,
yeah, oh
tracks
yeah.
with them.
no doubt. It just feels like the slapsticky elements of that put it too horror, too comedy for me. Rather,
Are you talking
It's
about
just-
his hand?
the
His
whole thing
robotic
is
hand.
the whole thing is just a little more comedy for me than I would have for a horror comedy.
So when you
I
say-
love Young Frankenstein. Don't get me wrong; it's like probably one of my 10 favorite comedies. But
So when you get into horror comedy, you're really thinking like more. It's like
I want
horror.
the horror elements
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, I want strong horror elements in my horror comedies.
So it's like mostly, it's more of the subgenre type. Like you get that horror as the basic. Like you could have even thrown Frighteners on there. if you
Oh,
really
yeah.
wanted to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Um,
yeah, Frightener. I didn't want to put 2 Peter Jacksons on there though. So
that would have killed me because I would have put that higher than Army of the Darkness. I love Frighteners. It's a bold
Frightener's a
statement,
good
but
movie.
still.
Frightener's a good movie.
That-
Really nice foreign 4K of it too.
Got a good Busey in it.
Yep. Jake.
Good old Jake.
All right. So we did skip over Katrina Bowden, who plays Allison. She's
We
in
did.
Patrana 3 Double D,
Yeah.
by the way, which is funny.
Hmm.
Not really. She didn't go on a huge things.
No.
She was in
Great
American
White, which might
Reunion.
be based off of a very good book. She was
Yep, the fourth and final American Pie.
Monolith. Yeah, not much. A lot of B horror movies, or at the
Mhm.
very least. She was in Old Dads. Divorce
my
Party. Like
gosh.
he breaks out. Scary
Yeah.
Movie 5. He breaks out a bit, but not much. Not much.
No.
So she's kind of she's
Movie.
kind of is what it is sort of thing.
Movie
There's
43.
A Christmas in New Hope. She's in a Hallmark movie, which is the sign of a dying career.
I mean, listen, I bet there's some decent residual checks in there because they just air them over and over every year.
Yeah, they do.
It's true.
Those Hallmark movies air 24/7 on a couple of those channels once you get past Thanksgiving.
Yes, they
She's in a
do.
movie with Sam Jackson. Is that Sam Jackson?
Snakes on a
The
Plane.
Unholy Trinity.
Oh,
If only.
I don't think I
That
know the
is-
Unholy Trinity.
That is Sam Jackson. It looks like Harry Potter, Pierce Brosnan, and Sam Jackson are in this movie based on this picture. It's not Harry Potter. It's Brandon Lessard. But she's sure in it.
mixed reviews.
Wait,
Seems like a direct
it's weird.
to home video.
Yeah. As Sam, so this is bizarre too, though. Sam Jackson's on the cover, but not given. Oh, there he is. He's like the 16th person down on the cast listing.
Yeah, we put him in the movie so we can put him on the poster, but he's in here
Yep.
for about 10 seconds.
That's the whole
Likely,
Bruce
yeah.
Willis trope.
He comes through and mother F's a couple people, and that's his role.
We out here in the
funny.
West.
We out here in the West.
But she works as Allison in Tucker and Dale.
Yeah,
she
she's
does.
good.
She does a really, I mean, it doesn't require her to do a whole lot except get knocked out a few times. But, her scenes with Dale become really believable.
Yeah, they
They
do.
really, they sell that, like the Beauty and the Beast sort of angle.
Yeah. And I grew up on a farm. And you're like figuring out that she's actually quite a good match for him
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
as they drop their prejudice. Well, he never had any. She drops her prejudices.
I mean,
And like really her prejudices are more not even direct prejudice so much as just misconception by the way Dale presents himself.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
just
and
the
then
way any young lady should should
Mhm,
be around men.
mhm.
They
And
don't
then
know.
like the next time she sees Tucker, his face is all bee stung, so he looks like and because that's really the other thing they do, aside from like every action that Dale makes being creepy, everything Tucker does makes him look worse.
Yeah.
well, let's go back to the bee sting real quick because that's pretty funny when he's cutting a tree limb with the chainsaw and he
Uh,
hits a bee's nest and he's like flailing around as the college
He's
kids like
flailing around with the chainsaw and running through the woods in the direction of the college kids that he's not even aware of, and then they all start running and he's running alongside one of them who's clearly afraid that he's being chased by the guy with the chainsaw to the point where he's not looking where he runs and he impales himself on a branch while Tucker's waving the chainsaw yelling bees.
It's her first accidental deceasement.
Yep.
well, he thought they were all allergic. That's why they were running.
Yeah. They must be allergic to bees. They
Which-
left.
But that leads to
Mhm.
the whole thing when they're digging the outhouse and they're thinking that they're
Mhm.
digging her grave. They're making her dig
Yeah.
her own grave, which is another good scene where the kid impales
Mhm.
himself with the staff or the branch.
Yeah, it's the
staff.
second impaling in
Mhm.
15 minutes. And then we get the wood chipper. The guy goes into the wood chipper. We're
Mhm.
down to like 3 college kids left or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
after that.
I think it's 4 from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like that's my second favorite, like unalive moment in the film. The first one we'll get to later when it comes up in the cabin.
Oh, see the wood chip with the wood chipper is the one that makes me laugh the most. Like,
It's because
and then you
He goes-
and then
just jumps
and then
right
you
in.
you get the visual of the two of them trying to get the bottom half of him out of the chainsaw. And, wow, he's heavy for half a guy
Oh,
or
yeah.
half whatever. Like, and you get Allison getting knocked out again and waking up, and Dale asking her, "Do your friends take medication?" Because
I like when he asked the guy's legs if he's all right. Are you okay? Afterward, that's pretty good too. It's just a good, goofy movie.
Yeah, like until the college kids lay siege to the cabin, Tucker
Yep.
and Dale have no clue what's going on. Like none whatsoever.
They think it's a big misunderstanding or that the
Mhm.
college kids are part of a cult.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's like
They-
their
they have-
other option.
they have a self-unaliving pact.
Yes, which
Yep.
is pretty funny.
Mhm.
And just
and that they're coming after Allison because she's not taking part in it. Like it's insane.
it is.
It
The
makes
sheriff
sense.
goes in a silly way too. They
Mhm.
foreshadow that with the beam in the beginning of the movie, or
Yeah.
the column in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
The sheriff eats it. He eats it pretty badly too. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Don't you find it
Rough way to go.
interesting that they don't warn him quickly? They warn Allison quickly though. Like don't do that. And then with the sheriff, they warn him
Mhm.
after the fact, and then he gets beamed.
Well, I think with the sheriff, the stakes are different too, because at that point they're completely caught unaware. Like, why does the cop want to talk to us? And like, I mean, right from the start, Tucker's like, "We've had a doozy of a day. You're not gonna believe this, but
These kids.
yeah, you're right. He's not gonna believe it. There's a body in the yard. There's like you guys are
They were
covered in blood.
carrying. Yeah, they were
They're
carrying half a
carrying
corpse.
legs.
It was not good. It was not good. Allison does very well with all of the happenings. I'm not necessarily sure if she's aware of her friend's fates throughout all
Not
of it. Like one of
not
them
in
is
the
already
beginning.
deceased when
Yeah.
she's digging with him and they're like sort of, getting to know each other better and whatnot. But
Yeah. I mean, she's knocked out for the one that impales himself in the pit, too.
Because
It's
Dale
true.
knocks her out
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
shovel.
there he turns around. She's
Mhm.
knocked out for half the movie.
Yeah. I don't think she's aware really of how bad things have gotten until the fire towards the end.
Yeah. But she does her psychology with Chad and Dale, and that goes great.
The the fire scene, I'm sorry, that's the scene that got me because I was just watching. They're like, "Here, put him out," and they throw the moonshine on him, and I'm just like, "What?"
Don't
No,
use
not
that.
that.
And then
I'm
the
like,
stack
I'm gonna
of
to
the stack of all
chamomile.
the,
The
the stack
chamomile.
of all of the gas and kerosene right there in the middle of the cabin, which is exactly where you wouldn't keep it.
Well, when she's lighting the cigarette, I'm like, "There's got to be gas cans there," and they show the gas cans. I'm like, "Oh, have that last puff. There you go."
Wild
N-
stuff.
I mean, there's really from the start no suspense. They sort of start the movie at the end, with Chad and the reporters. So or you should know where this is going, that it's really not Tucker and Dale that are the villains, although really Chad hasn't taken anybody out either. Chad is just I
He's
think
kind
that
of wuss
yeah,
away.
I think that's kind of Chad's plan. And you find out that Chad's mom is the lone survivor of the Memorial Day massacre.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest thing to a twist this movie does.
Yeah.
That plot of the Memorial Day massacre and everything is completely unnecessary and superfluous to the film too, but
Yep.
it's there.
Yep.
It doesn't take away from it, but it's
No.
there.
No.
And they tie it in nicely.
It's how they make a story out of this, right?
Well, yeah, every step in the paranoia about Tucker and Dale with the college kids is fed by Chad, because Chad has this pre-existing rage towards hillbillies because they killed his mom, and they're the reason why his dad never returned, like went missing, until you realize and that picture is amazing because it's just Chad with like a big Amish beard, and you realize that, oh, Chad's dad was one of the murderous hillbillies, and Chad trying to reckon with that is pretty funny too. I'm not a hillbilly,
I'm not one.
All
But
right,
that
let's see what
descends into his madness.
Oh yeah, like Chad just completely falls apart.
Well, he can't rationalize the fact that Allison won't be with him. Like he's the quintessential silver spoon kid.
Yep. Quintessential college bro, the shirt with the collar and that big, thick white belt.
He's awful. He's perfect, the perfect guy to hate. But why don't we find out what some people think about this movie? Because it's about that time.
It is about that time. And it's really, this was the hardest search for 1 stars that I had.
Good. No, not
Really?
good. Not good for the hard part, but good because people realize it's a good film.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of 1 stars that, are basically just like bad movie, but those are no fun to do. So this currently on Rotten Tomatoes has an 86% critic score and an 85% audience score.
That's fair.
So people mostly like Tucker and Dale. Here's a 5-star. I don't tend to be one for gory movies, but somehow this movie manages to get away with it due to the fact that it pushes the envelope on just how funny a movie can be, while hardly relying on the gore for humor. It's a hilarious commentary on how preconceived notions and misunderstandings can cause unwanted and unnecessary outcomes, and also how a manipulative mind can take advantage of these flaws in others.
Okay.
And that's
Fire to Chad.
That's a lot of thought put into Tucker and Dale, but it's you get to the heart of what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a 1-star. And this is from 2018. This is how far back I had to go to find reasonable 1-star reviews. 1 star. I guess I should say this review contains spoilers, even though there is not much to spoil. This is just a boring one-joke movie. It's pretty much an SNL skit stretched out to feature length. Idiotic teens mistake a couple of stereotypical crackers for killers, attack them, but only one managed to kill themselves in the process. Multiple times. End credits. There's really not much more to the story. It's a waste of time and talent.
They need to watch It's Pat if they want to see a SNL skit turn into a feature movie.
I mean, I get some of that. But they're not trying to do more than what they did. Like it's not trying to make great statements on anything. It's not trying to be like the great horror movie. It's a fun movie. And if you can't sit and watch Tucker and Dale and have fun, you're probably just as bad as our 1/2-star review. And I don't think this guy likes movies. Just based on his reviews, he is nothing above like a 3-star. The only movie I think he liked was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Not even
It's
one.
the only thing he liked.
It's not even one of the better Mission Impossibles too, which is the sad part.
No. 1/2-star. I don't know how this movie got such great reviews. They're misleading. It's super predictable and very cliche. Nothing new in this movie that you haven't seen plenty of times. If the comedy doesn't land for you, it's going to be a painful watch. And when you realize that the first 15 minutes of the movie is basically what the entire movie is going to be, it becomes unbearable. Characters are all dumb and annoying, constantly making dumb decisions, and it's not even funny. The humor is nothing new. Pacing sucks and it drags. I would definitely not recommend this movie. It's pretty dumb.
I mean, you can make the argument for dumb, but in a good way, not the way this guy does.
Yeah,
Give that review a 1/2-star.
And like I said, predictable? Sure. They show you the end in the first 2 minutes of the movie. They show you exactly where this movie's going to go. Of course but unpredictable at the end because you have Allison and Dale bowling together and Dale giving relationship advice to the dude. And then you get to watch in the background while Dale and Allison are having this romantic moment, the chaos that Dale just unleashed with this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love when that happens in movies. Like that's one of my favorite things about a movie is when in the foreground you have the scene and it's what they want, what you're expected to focus on, but in the background it's just chaos.
Bedlam.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun thing they did a lot. Where you see like the funny stuff, Nordberg going down like, off a building in the back or something.
When he gets caught under the bus.
It's definitely one of my favorite things. And it's something that really I think takes repeated viewings to catch a lot of the time.
Yeah. Because they hide them so well.
I mean, you get drawn into the foreground and you don't even notice.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've heard what other people thought about Tucker and Dale. What do you guys think?
Now, ranking this movie is tricky comparing it to other movies that we have on this list. Like, how do you put this against, our favorite horror movies of all time? Because this is a satire and a comedy. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, like a 3.75.
Okay.
Like a 3.75. It's an enjoyable movie. So that factors in heavily. Like, it's a good watch from beginning to end. That's not every movie. So...
You stole my ranking. I give it a 3.75 as well. I think it hits, like, if you like comedy, it hits that part. You like horror, it's got the gore. But you're in it for the horror, but you're in it more for the comedy. The whole idea of the trope, the reversal of the characters, the hillbillies who are supposed to be antagonistic being these good dudes, and the college kids who are usually the ones who are supposed to be the innocent, the ones who are the heroes are the bad guys. It's a nice reversal, and it's refreshing,
Mhm.
and I feel like looking at it and you're going in going, oh, I'm going to watch the next Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Hills Have Eyes. It's not that movie. Just have fun with it. You got Alan Tudyk in there, for God's sake.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not going to be serious.
No. So I'm gonna end up way above you guys on this one because this is like,
A Blue Star?
no, it's not
Okay.
that far. It's not that far. But
Like-
this is probably like if you put this on a blind rank for me and I didn't get this in my top 4 horror comedies, I'd probably be disappointed. Tucker and Dale is way up there for me. This is one of those that if I need to be picked up, I can put on and feel better. Everything about it just makes me happy. This is a 4.5 for me. Like this
Wow,
is
okay.
like this is way
Respect.
up there for me. And I hadn't really thought about it until this watch how much I would like to see this universe be revisited because I think you can do more with Tucker and Dale in particular. I don't think you
Oh,
need
yeah.
I don't know how much you would need an Allison character back in it. And there have been talks of a sequel, but as of right now, it sounds like it's dead. There was an interview from last year with Eli Craig where, he says that Tucker and Dale 2 has died more times than the teens in the movie did. And most recently, I just lost the guy's name, but one of the Universal CEO who has been shutting down fully completed movies to take tax write-offs. Like Batgirl is in there, a sequel to Scoob is in there. Like they're completed movies that he has just shelved to use as tax write-offs as loss. So
That's a shame.
that's where Tucker and Dale sequels sit now. They're not completed, but they're in that sort of developmental hell that they're not going to come out of in the foreseeable future, if ever, because this guy runs Universal and Universal, I guess, controls the rights to it. One of the things that was talked about wasn't a movie, but a TV series where Tucker and Dale are detectives.
That's
Can you
cool.
imagine them trying to solve crimes? That would be the
great.
funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
You
that would
get-
be fantastic.
I mean, it would sort of be like a goofier, to go to my favorite Joe Lansdale series. It would be like a Hap and Leonard kind
Yep.
of thing.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Good
It's,
plug for Lansdale. Don't make me go get the
oh,
anthology.
Bro.
They'll
If you
do
have
it.
if our
Do it.
listeners haven't read any of the Hap and Leonard stuff, like, oh my gosh, forget Lansdale's horror, which is top tier impeccable horror writing. His mystery detective writing is just so good. The way he writes those two characters, Hap being like a liberal hippie white Texan dude, and his best friend Leonard is a gay black conservative. Like it's just the funniest pairing
So
of
good.
guys, and the way he writes them. Like, oh my gosh, go and get those books too.
Also, he's a super nice guy. I was in I don't know why he gave me the time of day in it, but I was on a Facebook chat and Lansdale was in there, like Ellen Datlow and people like that were talking. And I mentioned that I couldn't get a copy of his book. It was like, it's being sold used for like $79 on Amazon. He goes, oh, just get in touch with my daughter. Like he sent me a direct message and said, just get in touch with my daughter. She'll sell it to you for whatever, for cost. And I was like, oh, all right. But he, in true Lansdale fashion, he like didn't tell me how to get in touch with his daughter or what his daughter's name was or anything like that. So I was
It's-
like, okay, buddy.
It's Casey, I think.
Nice guy. Casey Lansdale makes sense. And
I
I did
think
hunt
it's Casey.
somebody down, and then I just lost interest in the book after a while.
Which
I gotta
book?
get it. I don't even remember anymore. It was like kind of like a flash in the pan thing at the time. But
I
was
think
I was
lot-
doing all things Lansdale at the moment.
Mhm. A lot of his non-Hap and Leonard stuff is, I think, is small publishers, so it goes in and out of print pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
It's hard to get stuff. That's one of the reasons too. He's like a cult icon because you have to kind of like really get out there and scour to get certain prints and manuscripts and things like that that people want.
But that's cool though. That's how you want it. You want it to be like
That's how
a
he wants it.
rarity.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wouldn't you want it to be a rarity?
Well,
So
it's
like
also
word of
the
mouth.
hodgepodge of just him clawing his way through his career.
Yeah.
Like it's like Brian Keene too. Just the guy's been around forever writing in the
Mhm.
trenches, you know.
hmm Yeah, I think this is just the way he wants it. I don't think he wants to be a huge mainstream star.
No,
I think he's
he
happy.
might want to be rich, but he definitely doesn't want to be famous.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Now, this is the guy who wrote Bubba Hotep, listeners, by the way. So this is
Yep.
like what we're talking about. This is the
Yep.
same guy, and we did that movie.
And watch that episode.
Godzilla's 12-step program. Have you read that?
No, I have not. Like Godzilla.
That's amazing.
Well, he's down here a
Godzilla's
little
he's in like a recovery group for destroying cities.
bit. That's amazing. That's
It's-
funny.
He's got like a 9 to 5 and stuff. Like it's so funny. It's so bizarre. But that's what Lansdale is. Like at his best, he's like bizarre and funny, and he can be scary and riveting. Like he does all those things in just this like sort of weird fashion.
Agreed. All right, guys. I think it's about time to wrap up Tucker and Dale. We ready to do some top fives, gentlemen?
Top
think we are.
fives. Oh man,
All
top
right.
fives. Oh man, we're taking a trip on my top fives. We're gonna do horror in the boonies, and we're gonna start off with number 5, and that is 2001 Maniacs from 2005. It is a remake of a 1964 film about a group of college kids who get detoured to a peaceful southern town in Pleasant Valley, and let's just say these Southerners are not as friendly as we get to learn out. They are ghosts of a former Confederate town still fighting the good war and the civil. But, you know, check out the movie. It's fun. It's a B movie slasher. Just enjoy it. And that leads to my number 4, Silent House. I don't know if have you seen Silent House?
Not sure. Describe it.
2011 psychological horror film starring Elizabeth Olsen focuses on a young woman who is terrorized in her family vacation home while cleaning the property with her father and uncle. There's a lot of twists and turns. I saw this actually in theaters, and the theater experience. I mean, as a college student, I was like, okay, this isn't. It's okay, but as I rewatched it later on, it's a pretty deep psychological film with a good twist and turn in it. I don't want to give too
Mhm.
much away, but it's very it's like a good mix of fast pace and slow pace with the dark shadows and the lights of the house, which is pretty unique. And that gives to number 3. We know someone who loves this film, and that's Wrong Turn. I mean, Wrong Turn, you know, Desmond Harrington, Eliza Dushku, Wrong Turn kind of like nails the whole Booney expertise of 2003. And it's a cult film. It's a great B movie. Follows a group of 6 individuals being stalked by deformed, inbred, cannibalistic mountain men in the woods of West Virginia. And never make a wrong turn, guys. Never in the boonies. Never in the city. But if you always find a last house on the left, you should always visit it. And that's number 2. And I'm going with the original Wes Craven version. Picked that up at a Walmart for $5. It was worth it. The whole idea follows Mari, who is abducted, and horrible things happen to her. And the fugitives kind of like leave her in a river, and she's found by her parents who take bloody revenge. And the original one done by Wes Craven, again, his first film. It hits everything that you'd want from a Wes Craven film, and it's a good start for his long career, which leads to number 1, the original Booney feature, I feel, that kind of took it to a step higher, and that's Evil Dead. I can't, I can explain it as much. We all know the story. 4 members, they go through a demonic depression after reading the Necronomicon, and Ash Williams saves the day. And just to give it a little bit of a nod, on July 10th, we're going to get Evil Dead Burn. Around that time, we're going to be covering Evil Dead Rise, which is excellent. So if you haven't seen Evil Dead Rise yet, watch it before watching the podcast, or watch the podcast and watch the film. But that's my top 5 of horror movies in the boonies. Hills Have Eyes was on there, but I feel like that's more in the desert. It's not really boonies. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, I can't make, when I think of boonies, I'm thinking of like the woods and,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But what is
Not the
your
wastelands.
No.
Oh,
Did you
my
do
top
it?
5.
Did you do the wood chip?
No.
No.
No, I couldn't.
Oh.
I wanted to do top 5 wood chippers so bad, but I just couldn't come up with 5 of them. It was a struggle.
We were
So-
listing some. Come on now.
Yeah.
We were listing some.
Yeah. But like there's like I think there's a movie called Wood Chipper Massacre that I haven't seen. So I like to generally like my top 5s are movies I've seen.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want to recommend stuff just based on like other people's recommendations. So I instead went with 5 underrated, underseen horror comedies.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to start with an honorable mention, which was originally my number 1, but I've started to feel like it's at least properly rated now, and that's Idle Hands. I know for a while people had forgotten about Idle Hands and how good that one is and how fun that one is. I think it got a nice shout release. It's come back into consciousness. I think it's properly rated now. But my number 5 is definitely underrated. My number 5 also used to be one of my like movie friend group initiation movies. Like, if you could sit through this movie, we can hang. It's a movie I blind bought at a convention from one of the actors, Wayne Johnson. He was just at Monster Mania one time, and like when he meets you, he acts like he's known you forever. To the point where I was like, do I know this guy? I feel like I know you. Why do I you're talking to me like we've met 100 times? And the movie is called Night of Something Strange. And it is a tough watch. It's funny. It's a tough watch because it is gory. It is gross. So if a killer STD and zombies sound like a good time, then this is the movie for you.
Wow.
Spring break is derailed for a group of young people when one of them contracts an STD in a bathroom. Those with the STD turn into hungry zombie-like creatures, infecting others in more and more outrageous fashions. It's a wild ride. Like this and a movie called Miami Connection are like have always been my movie initiations for friends.
Connection.
And you guys have dodged both. So there's a day coming where you guys are gonna get these. I may not even tell you.
Nice. We'll just show up one day. Miami Connection right now.
Made hummus. Come over.
Miami
seen
Connection is a much different experience. We'll talk about that another
My buddy
time.
Matt think Miami Connection. I recognize the cover.
I love Miami Connection. My number 4, we're gonna visit the Broken Lizard group, and it's Club
yes.
Dread.
Yes,
Oh,
Club
yes.
Dread. You don't like
I
that
think
film, Burns.
It gets sort of blotted out by the Super Troopers movies, which is getting a 3rd this summer. So Broken Lizard is known more for the Super Trooper movies, but in Club Dread, they took on the horror comedy with what I think is really hilarious results. The fun in the sun at Coconut Pete's resort is interrupted by a serial killer preying on the guests and staff. You get Bill Paxton doing his best Jimmy Buffett impersonation as Coconut Pete. You get like the whole Broken Lizard team and a bunch of, Brittany Murphy's in there. There's a couple other people that pop up that you're like, oh, I know who that is. It's a lot. I love Club Dread. It's so much fun. I think we're in the minority on that, Ryan, because I know Allison doesn't like it. Kearns,
I
is
love
not a
Club
fan.
Dread.
I love Club Dread.
Just to see Kevin Heffernan in Dreads, it's great.
Mhm.
A lot
See
of
Farva.
grinding around in my seat in the theater and Club Dread. A dude slapped his friend at the end of that movie.
Because they were that
When
angry.
in the theater, because they were that angry. Yeah, it was college. We were at the theater and stood up. Everybody's leaving. He's like, dude, no. He's like, it's supposed to be good. And then you just laugh. This guy's mad. That was the same theater where the Mystic River Scary Movie 3 thing happened, by the way.
Do you guys want to make that our thing? If one of us recommends a movie that turns out being bad, they get slapped?
Maybe. It's just so easy to contaminate that with
I
something.
feel like I'm gonna get slapped a lot though, because I do a lot of the recommending around here.
Slap my Jana.
Well, I like all your recommendations.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh.
disliked a single
The
one
only
yet.
the only one that I feel like, well, it wasn't really a recommendation, it was just on the list, was Fright Night 2, the remake.
Yeah,
sequel.
I mean we had
was-
to though. We had to.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't your recommendation, it was just on the list, but everything you've recommended has been a hit.
Yeah. So we're now fully into the zombie portion of my top 5 because how can I make a list of anything without a zombie portion? Number 3 is a movie called Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yes.
So when a zombie is inadvertently released from a lab, 3 teen Boy Scouts, 2 of whom would rather go to a party than be Boy Scouts anymore, are tasked with saving the town along with some classmates and the bartender from a strip club. And this gets wild. Some of the zombie fights with, adult toys and other things it's just bonkers. I love it so much. It's another one of those you can put it on when you're feeling kind of down and just laugh and have a good time. As is my number 2, which is also zombies. It's a movie called Cooties. This one has Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and Lee Winnell, who also wrote it.
Yep.
So in Cooties, a cafeteria food-based zombie virus breaks out in an elementary school, turning the students into flesh-hungry zombies. The misfit group of teachers are forced to defend themselves and attempt to escape from the starving students. And it just goes wild. And if you find fights with kids to be particularly amusing like I do, this is for you.
Horde of hungry elementary schoolers. This is teacher revenge porn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And my number 1, I believe I talked about in one of our first 5 or so episodes. I think this was in our zombieology episode. My number 1 is a Cuban movie called Juan of the Dead.
Yes.
Yes. I recall.
We had a good chuckle on that too at that time.
Mm-hmm. So, Juan of the Dead. When zombies rise in Cuba, the government and media organizations blame dissidents revolting against the communist government. But Juan and his slacker friends know better. Juan decides to profit from the crisis and opens a zombie removal service. But quickly, he and his friends realize the situation is out of hand, and now they have to escape from Cuba in the most Cuban fashion possible.
Which is?
Improvised rafts.
Yep.
Okay.
Thought it
Yep.
might be.
Yep.
Thought
And
it
it's
might.
just great. It's so criminally underseen. Juan of the Dead is a good time.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's in print right now. I have a Blu-ray copy. I went looking this afternoon for a 4K, and that definitely doesn't exist. And it doesn't seem like the disc itself is available anywhere, but oh my goodness.
Great. Love it. All right. Good top 5s, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And that wraps up our Tucker and Dale episode, everybody. So if you haven't seen it and you listen to this, you did it in the wrong order. Go watch it. But
Go watch it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it is an enjoyable film. I'm glad we watched it
good
together, gentlemen.
Yes.
All right. So with that, see you later.
Have a good one.
See ya.